Guys, Rob here, Canyoneering, one of Cebu's most popular tourist attractions. I'm going to show you a guide on what to do and what to expect and what to pay. So let's check it out. So looking at a map of Cebu, from Cebu City to the Canyoneering area, it's over a 3-hour drive one way. So it's going to be a long day if you do it from Cebu City. In making this video, I was staying in Moalboal, which makes it a more convenient and less time consuming. From there, it's only about 20 kilometers away. So looking closer at the area on a satellite view, you can see the start of the location where you park the car or van. Then you have to hike for about 45 minutes down into the river where they actually start the canyoneering. From there you meander your way down the river to Kawasan Falls. From Kawasan Falls, it's an easy trail to follow down to the highway. So on the main strip of Panagsama Beach in Moalboal, where I stayed, you'll find plenty of places offering canyoneering tours. Some of the resorts and hostels will offer canyoning tours themselves. Prices I found range from about 1,300 to 1,500, with some of the resorts offering 2,500.
The car, the food, the ticket, everything was included.
So 1,300 for one person.
Yes.
And shoes?
And shoes is included.
Okay.
The mostly canyoneering are 4 hours. It includes already the time that you will have your lunch.
And what time does it start in the morning?
It start around 8:30.
Pick up from?
Pick up to your hostel.
I did mine through JoJo's. There's also options to book online as shown on screen. These prices are from Cebu City. If you need more details, contact them directly. The guides have to be accredited, so I didn't find any advantage choosing one group over another. Our guide was Robert, who was good, and I'll put some contact details later on in the video if you want to contact him directly, and you can skip the middleman then. As a matter of interest, I picked up a waterproof case from JoJo's. Good idea, they're only 150 peso. You can put your cell phone, a little bit of small cash, because there's little sari stores on the way along the canyoning if you want to pick up some water and knickknacks, cell phone, and also put batteries, extra batteries for your action cam. It's a really good idea, just seal it up and it's waterproof. So on my tour that I booked, the pickup was in front of Eve's Lodge down on Panagsama Beach. The time was around 9 AM. There was only a few guests at the starting point. The other ones were picked up on the way from their resorts or hostels. In total, there are 13 people in our tour. The jeepney then takes you over to the company's store, where you'll find lockers for your stuff, as well as getting your equipment, boots, helmets, and life jackets. Then you head back into the jeepney and they take you up the mountain to the starting point. The latter parts of the drive are quite scenic, as it has great mountainous views. Before you head off, there's a quick orientation showing you what to expect and safety instructions. To actually get to the river, it's about a 45-minute walk or hike. In my previous time doing this, it was like a 5-minute walk, but things have changed since then. If you want to get down there quicker now, there is a zip line that will take you straight down. I did this in mid-December and there had been a little bit of rain around, so the trek was a little bit muddy, but nothing too dangerous or difficult. It was humid, so after about half an hour I was really thirsty, and there was a spot you could buy water, and this is what I mean about taking some small cash in a waterproof case. It was about 11 AM when we started the hike down into the canyon towards the first jump. The first jump is a bit nerve-wracking, particularly due to the rain. It was quite slippery on some of the rocks. Once you've got your first jump out of the way, the rest is pretty easy. And it's just so refreshing to jump in the cool mountain river. And the colour of the water is this beautiful turquoise blue. So as you trek down the river, you'll be climbing over rocks, jumping into pools. And just admiring the scenery as you walk along. And there'll be parts of the river where you can stop and do some fun things with the guides in front of the cameras, like going backwards down the drop into a pool of water. And of course there's all the types of jumps you can make from various heights, which I'll show you as we go along in the video. The highest ones being 10 and 12 meters high. So you can chicken out like me and just be a spectator. At one of the drops they throw you over the edge. It's all good fun and it's not particularly dangerous. The trekking wasn't too strenuous for me. I'm in my 40s and I didn't have any issues, although my leg muscles were a bit sore the next day. It's worth looking up to see the beautiful canopy above. You can really see how deep the canyon is. On screen I thought this was the most beautiful part of the river. The view was just gorgeous as you walk through. What I loved about the trekking is parts you can get an adrenaline rush, and then other parts you're taking in the awe of the beauty of the place, and other parts you're just laying in the river, letting the current take you down. It gives you a really nice mix of different experiences as you go through the canyons, and I think that's a really good thing. It makes it that much more memorable. The guides are also a lot of fun and they're always looking out for you, even if you're a bit slow. If you can, try and bring an action cam or waterproof camera. There's plenty of photo opportunities and you'll want to remember them. Along the way there's a couple places you can stop and eat. There's barbecue meats. The barbecue meats shown on screen all were 50 peso each. There's also drinks there. Bottled water that I was pointing to was 30 peso. The jump I've shown now is optional, and I think this was about 8 meters in height. So with a quick pit stop, waiting for some of your members to do that jump, then you head down the river further. What you'll notice with the trekking is it's such a popular thing now in Cebu that there's all groups all around you, some in front, some behind you. It didn't really hinder the speed too much. There's not too many bottleneck places where you get stuck at, and it seems to run pretty smoothly and you keep moving. The guides can also be a bit daredevilish. This guide I filmed nearly slipped down, as you can see. It was a good save by him actually, but it is a wake-up call that it can be quite dangerous in parts. Have fun, but be careful. So further on you come out to the 10-meter high jump. Again, this is optional. I did it in slow motion, so hopefully get a better idea of how far you actually fall from this jump. Next to this is a rock slide that you go down. This one's pretty tame, so even your mother could go on it. It's a pretty easy thing to do and a little bit of fun. Make sure to keep your mouth shut or you might end up with a fish in it when you come out. For 10 peso at the time of making this video, you can do this swing. Some of the guys were trying to do flips but didn't quite work out. Unfortunately they wouldn't make the Olympic team. But it's an iconic image of the Philippines swinging on one of those swings and falling into the water. The highest jump, if you wish to do, is 12 meters. On my previous canyoneering trip, there was another huge jump. It was closer to the start of the trek. As I mentioned before, it's a different entry point now. So the beginning of the trek is slightly more downstream than it was before, and that jump is no longer part of the trek routing anymore. Nonetheless, this 12-meter jump is pretty awesome, even as a spectator. And then finally, you trek down to Kawasan Falls. Just as a matter of interest, a few days ago, the rock under Kawasan Falls actually broke off. I'm not sure if you can see it in this video. It's difficult to see. I've tried to add an old video of the waterfalls so you can compare, but I think it's still pretty hard to see the differences. Basically, it's a rock they used to pull the bamboo raft under. If you've been to the falls before, you'll know what I mean. Anyhow, it's all roped off now. You can still swim there, but just not beyond the roped area. Then it was a trek out to the main road, and we headed back to the store where we had lunch, or late lunch really. By the time we dropped off the other guests and back to where the starting point was, it was nearly 4 o'clock, so it was quite a long day. If you want to contact Robert, our guide, which I mentioned before, his number's here, or message him on Facebook as shown. At the end of the tour, you feel like you could go back and do it again and maybe go for that higher jump or do the jump a little bit differently. The group I went with were a really great group. Last time I went in a small group, and I always thought that was a better thing to do. But being in a big group, you get to meet all these different nationalities and personalities. And that's one of the great things about traveling. So my advice is don't be put off if you do get into a larger group. I don't think that's a disadvantage really. All I can say is this, canyoning is so much fun. You don't have to go for all those 10, 12 metre jumps. You can still enjoy and have fun with all the experiences along the way. I can do nothing but rave about it. If you're in Cebu, put this on your must-do list. For more travel videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.